Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chats. Just say hello, tell me where you're from, and then we shall get into it. I'll just give it another minute. There we go. We've got some people popping on now. Okay, I think I'm going to get right into it because it is Valentine's Day. So first and foremost, I want to wish everyone a very happy Valentine's Day. And for those of you that are not with someone, for those of you that are single, then just remind yourself that today is a day for self-love. It is a day for self-care. So give yourself lots and lots of that, because that is going to be the most important medicine you can give yourself today. Don't worry about not being in partnership. Don't worry about not having someone to share this day with. Just be with yourself. That's what I want to start off saying. And I'm going to get right into it. So the very first email I received was from Nikki. So, hi, Christina. Hello. So Nikki, she had a couple of questions here that she wrote about. Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, Sigrun. I got your email too, and I'll be answering your questions. So Nikki says that she is now 31. I've had a very long and intense path with my life and spirituality since 2022. In 22, my autoimmune disease showed up for me, which is inflammatory bowel disease. It affects my large intestine. A lot of things have happened since then, and now I feel I'm kind of immobile and frozen, or someone who still can't be reborn or transformed into something new. I cannot move or motivate myself to bring myself into a new chapter. I practice patience because I feel like things are moving really slow for me. It's a slow transformation, or maybe I'm stuck. I feel like I don't really fit in or can't find my place since I was born. I know the feeling. When someone's throat chakra is really messed up, because it's messing up mine. Everywhere I've been, I felt like I haven't belonged. My faith and self-love is really weak, especially in myself, and a lot of fear is working against me when it comes to showing myself to the world or finding my purpose, passion, or myself. My question is, what is my true purpose here, and how can I find my path to it? What are my gifts and abilities? How can I give and live a life that is truest for myself? Why is it hard for me to connect with my feelings, emotions? That is why I feel stuck, frozen. Is that why I feel stuck, frozen, or motionless? Mostly I'm in my head and in my thoughts. How can I unlock my power, my creative side? How can I let go of fear? Who is my main spiritual guide? Can I connect with him or her for answers? And lastly, anything I need to hear right now, I'll be really glad to receive from you. Thank you so much. Sending you love, Nikki. So Nikki, first of all, you are already on your path. Let me just start right there. And you're saying that so basically your spiritual awakening began in 2022, which is when your autoimmune disease showed up. That's actually very common when we go through a spiritual awakening. The reason why health conditions will often show up to accompany that spiritual awakening is because your body is physically trying to get your attention. There's a physical purging that also needs to take place when we go through a spiritual purging. Spiritual awakening is a form of reconnecting to the true essence of yourself, right? And so everything and anything, Nikki, that is in the way of that is what is being reflected back to you through this autoimmune condition. And the fact that it is an inflammatory bowel disease shows me that there are unprocessed emotions, there are undigested issues, emotional issues that you haven't faced, that you haven't dealt with, that you haven't looked at. Probably I'm seeing that it's been buried very, very deeply within you. And I don't think you've ever really had the awareness to be able to process this information, to even look at it, and to be able to release it. I do feel like you need some assistance with this because you are in your head so much that you're lacking clarity. It's like you're having a difficult time. And this is, I think, why you're also having a difficult time connecting to your emotions, is because you're so cerebral about everything. You're so logical, or trying to be so logical about your current circumstances. And this is not where logic is needed. This is where your connection to your soul and to your heart on a very deep level is needed. But I feel like, Nikki, you have a hard time with that because You've gotten so used to having to sort of manage everything with the mind, not with your heart or not with your intuition. I also see this separation that has happened between you and your intuition. So at some point, I'm hearing childhood, this was broken within you. So if you were consistently tapping in, okay, now I'm getting sensitivity. So I think you were very sensitive as a child. And when you were tapping in all the time, to that sensitivity, or maybe letting the people around you know about different things you were experiencing, that was shut down. It wasn't acknowledged, it wasn't approved of, it wasn't okay for you to be intuitive, and so therefore you started to get into this pattern of dismissing the intuition. Oh, then that's incorrect. Oh, then that must be wrong. And I'm seeing that you have to find your way back to that. You have to find your path to reconnect to that. So doing soul work is what is going to be most profoundly helpful for you. And then I'm seeing a step up to get to a higher level of your ascension. You're not stuck. I know you feel like you're stuck, but you're not actually stuck. You're fully in the process and in the transformation of doing everything that you're supposed to be doing at this time. And it can feel like stagnation. It can feel like you're stuck because it's seemingly on the outside, nothing is moving, nothing is changing. But on the inside of you, everything is moving and everything is changing. I'm also hearing dislodging. There's this dislodging of not, I don't want to say bad energy. It's like stuck emotions. There's like stuck, unprocessed, I'm hearing unhealed emotions that are dislodging within you. And this is causing a lot of disruption, a lot of chaos within your entire system. And I think you're really trying to figure this out logically, and that's not working. That's not going to work. So let me just see here what else you wrote. Yeah, that you kind of feel immobile or frozen. The whole thing that you never fit in, that's very, very common for highly spiritual individuals, for people that are born with a high frequency or with a unique frequency signature. So I never fit in either. I never fit in anywhere we ever moved with my family. I never fit in with any schoolmates, really. Workplaces, my God, definitely not. I've really never fit in either anywhere. And when you are that kind of a person who feels like you never fit in, no matter where you go in life or what you do in life, that's because you're not meant to fit in. You are not meant to conform. Okay, so there is this acceptance that you need to have within yourself that I am not meant to conform, and that's why I don't fit in. I am meant to be my own unique self. I am meant to express that in whatever way feels best for me. And you have to completely disregard what others see, how others see you, because you choose to do that. I'm hearing way shower. So people that don't fit in are way showers, and we are meant to not fit in. So that's something that you just need to come into acceptance with, Nikki, and then you're gonna get over that whole thing. Because once you accept that about yourself, that you don't fit in, you are going to automatically start attracting the right people that you do fit in with, because now you're not in resistance to the outside world, to life itself here on earth, right? Now you're not in resistance to everything that doesn't feel good. Because what I often find as a sensitive and as an empath is that this world it can be so harsh, right? The energies and just the overwhelm of constantly feeling all these different energies and the different things that are playing out. Even before I sat down, to be honest, I'll be completely honest with you guys. Like, I'm a little off today, and I can feel that I'm not feeling at my fullest, but that's okay. I'm going to go for a walk after this and ground my energy, because I know I need to level out. I even showered, I washed my hair, I was running the water down my crown chakra before I sat down for this live, just so I can kind of recalibrate, rebalance, because I can feel this full moon energy is really kind of messing with me right now. And there's so much going on in the heart space. Oh, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but my heart has been feeling really, because there's a lot of expansion happening, and sometimes I can physically feel pain from that expansion. So like I said, we're not meant to fit in. And let me just see here what else you wrote. That you're practicing patience. That's awesome. It's the best thing that you can do right now. It's like, Nikki, just let yourself be. Let yourself be who you are, your beautiful self, your beautiful soul. Don't feel like you need to change anything about yourself. You are truly on path right now. You're exactly where you are meant to be right now. You're not stuck. You're definitely not stuck. That's an illusion. You see that? That's an illusion. So clear the illusion out of your mind that you are stuck. You can't find your place. You don't need to find your place because you are already the place that you are looking for. Okay. You are already the embodiment of the frequency and the energy that you are meant to be. And Nikki, I don't know if you need to express something to somebody or what's going on, but lots of blockage in the throat chakra, which has to do with communication. It could also be one of someone in the chats right now. Someone's got something to say. Okay, let me see. My faith in self-love is really weak, especially in myself, and a lot of fear is working against me when it comes to showing myself to the world or finding my purpose. Don't worry about finding your purpose right now, Nikki. The main thing that you need to focus on, and the thing that's going to help you recalibrate the most, is self-love. So learning how to love yourself, learning how to honor yourself, honor your uniqueness, honor the fact that you don't fit in, love that about yourself, know that it is actually your superpower that you don't fit in, because it gives you this huge opportunity to be your unique self, to express yourself as you are meant to be, and to express the beauty of your heart and your soul in the way that it is called upon by spirit. So the purpose will come only through you connecting to your own heart first, only through you learning to love yourself first. Wow. Wow. I really feel that in my throat. So yeah, so that answers your question about what your purpose is here and how can I find my path to it. You're already on the path to it. The path to it is self-love, is self-discovery, is self-acceptance. That is the path to your true purpose. The gifts and the abilities, that's going to come. You already know what your gifts and abilities are intuitively, but your mind is, I'm hearing, resisting it, pushing back on it. Your gifts and abilities are the things that you are most passionate about, the things that you are most good at. Tap into that, Nikki. What is that for you? What is that thing that really turns that light bulb on within you, within your heart? It really lights you up. It gets you excited. That is your gift. How can I give and live a life that is truest for myself? How can you give? The giving is going to come. Giving to others is irrelevant if you can't learn how to give to yourself. So that's step one. And this is for everyone out there. If you don't know how to give to yourself, you are not going to know how to give to other people. So most of us are here on this earth right now and in this lifetime to really learn how to give to ourselves, to really learn how to love ourselves on a very deep, very unconditional level. And when you can do that, that is when that's the spark that ignites everything else to sort of explode and take off in your life. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That is also how you unlock your power and your creative side. How can I let go of fear? Fear is a choice. And I'm actually feeling a little bit dizzy right now. So again, it's that you're so cerebral. Oh my goodness. Stop overanalyzing, stop overthinking everything. Just like get out of your head. I think meditation practice and taking long walks in nature is really going to help you to level out. You got to ground your energy, Nikki, because I feel like you're really, really off. And I think maybe under this full moon, you might be particularly off. Who is my main spiritual guide? Can I connect with him or her for answers? So again, just an FYI for everybody out there, your main spiritual guide is actually your higher self. So what people think is a separate entity from you, everyone thinks that our spirit guides are separate entities from us. They are actually not. There are separate ones, yes, outside of us. But the main spirit guide that each and every single one of us has is our higher self, which is the highest expression of your soul. It is a frequency, it's an energy. That is the first and foremost guide that we should all be tapping into and accessing first, because your soul already has the blueprint for your life. So don't try to categorize or put spirit guides into boxes or think that they are sort of separate from us. Like I said, yes, there are additional spirit guides that we have. This could be ancestors, passed on loved ones, even a pet, ascended masters, angels, whatever. There could be all of those additional. And I find most people have additional guides as well. But the very first one that you have to learn to connect to is your own, because that is ultimately, like, your higher self is ultimately what connects to the other guides, which then brings in messages. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So that's everything I have for you, Nikki, for today. If you have any further questions, let me know, okay? And I hope you found this helpful. So I'm going to move on now to Aline. Aline says, I wanted to move and it's going to happen, but I met a stray cat where I'm still living and I'm a bit sad about leaving him behind. I was wondering whether I should take him with us, though he's scared of our dog. I'm not sure if other people took care of that cat. I don't even know how old it is, but I love him very much. I'm sad about leaving him behind, but I'm not sure what's best for him. Do you know what would be the best decision to take? Taking him with us or leaving him where we met him? Okay, so let's address the cat thing first. So with the cat thing, what I'm getting right off the bat is if it is in any way, if you feel in any way that there is a little bit of resistance within you about bringing this cat along, then the cat needs to stay where it is. Then it's not meant to come with you. However, the cat did come into your life for a reason. What I would recommend for you, Aline, is to look up the spiritual meaning of cats, to get it like a deeper insight about, because animals choose us, right? So if that animal showed up for you, it showed up for a reason and it has a message to deliver to you. I'm not necessarily feeling like you're meant to take this cat with you, although there is like this possibility there. The energy is very unstable when it comes to that. So it's like it could go either way. But more than anything, this animal has a message to deliver for you. So I would really look up the meaning, spiritual meaning of cats. Even look up specifically by color, whatever color this cat is. But again, I'm feeling this, like if there's like resistance, like you're saying it's that it's afraid of your dog, if there's any kind of a resistance or time crunch, for example, where it's like you're getting ready to move now and like this cat probably still needs time, right, to get used to you more, to get used to your family, your pet. It's like, don't put your life on hold to bring this cat along, is what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. Because that may not be the purpose. I feel like he's just bringing a message to you. Cats are also protectors. There's definitely like a deeper spiritual meaning behind this cat visiting you and coming to you. So yeah, look that up and see. And then you're saying here, on another note, you had confirmed that I should indeed step away from my family. Yes, I had mentioned that in a previous live. I feel like I should not even go to my sister's wedding this summer where there'll be all of my family. That feels crazy to me, but I'm not sure what I should do. So knowing that it's possible, she'll never forgive me for it. I think my family is not aware that I'm that upset with them, and they really would never expect that I wouldn't come. Okay, so when it comes to the wedding, the immediate first message I'm getting is you need to speak to your family, Aline. You need to be honest and open and speak from your heart and speak with love and just express to them, because this is a part of your soul's growth right now. And I feel like you're avoiding it. I'm feeling this resistance within you. I feel like you're avoiding this because it's going to be uncomfortable. Of course, it's going to be something that you're not used to doing. You're not used to speaking up for yourself, but this is the reason why everything is happening with your family right now, is to give you this beautiful opportunity to actually overcome this fear within yourself. So express to them, tell them, let them know how you're truly feeling, how everything has been, going down for you and how you have been experiencing them and the way that they have been treating you, excuse me. But the wedding, making a decision about the wedding is actually going to come after this conversation. So you're going to know what to do once you have had this conversation with your family. And you can even separately have a conversation with your sister and tell her how you're feeling about everything and see how she responds. And for anyone out there, when someone is responding in a way that doesn't acknowledge your needs or doesn't acknowledge who you are or doesn't acknowledge anything that you even said, then that's your indication that they're really not ready to grow with you. They're really not ready to accept you as you are. And that's okay. They don't have to. But at the same time, you also don't have to continue entertaining that relationship. So it's about just always honoring and recognizing where you are in the moment, right? And what is happening in the moment. And if in the moment it feels best for you to not attend, it feels best for you to not be present at the wedding, then do that. So this is a bit of a trust exercise as well from spirit for you to really learn to trust your own intuition, your own internal guidance, and where that's guiding you. Let me see what else you wrote here. I also had 3 friends that I moved away from a bit at the same time. The first one was a bit rude and we don't agree on many things. The second one, we don't agree on many things, but she's not as openly rude. So sometimes I feel like, what's the point of staying friends with them, even though they're childhood friends? The third one is also a childhood friend, but she feels much more pleasant. And I think that I could stay friends with her, but at the same time, I feel like, should I? Okay, so as far as the friends go, it feels like you have outgrown these friends and they're not really meant to come with you. The third one is completely an optional, like the one that you said that you feel more pleasant with. Um, but even there's like a bit of a letting go energy. So if you're not fully feeling that connection, it's perfectly okay to let them go. And then you're saying, how should I say goodbye? Okay, well, I had to let someone very dear to me go as well last year, and it was very, very difficult. She was my best friend for 13 years, and it was really hard, but I recognized I arrived at a point in my life where I knew that I had outgrown her. I could see how we just didn't mesh anymore. We were not on the same level. Um, yeah, we were completely different vibrationally. And I expressed this to her in conversation, and I told her why I had been slowly backing away from us and from our connection with each other. And she didn't, like, it's like she got it but she didn't get it. And I knew she was upset with me. And then it came to a point at some point last year where I decided that, like, it just really, really wasn't going to work. We had an interaction. We met up. We went out, and after that interaction, it was like an immediate, obvious, and I just knew. I knew I had to let her go. So I ended up just sending her a message, and it was really, truly heartfelt. And speak from your heart, Aline, okay? And just let these girls know that I love you and I respect you as a person, but I feel that I've outgrown you. I feel that we have grown apart, that we are no longer on the same page, and I just need to be with myself for some time, and I need to do my own thing and just disconnect. And they will take it however they take it. That's not up to us, right? How people choose to take what we say that's none of our business. So just communicate it in a very loving and very kind way, and very briefly explain, like, this is why I'm leaving, or this is why I'm cutting contact, and that's that. And then see how they respond. So it says, as all of these things seem to be completely disappearing from my life, I feel weird because sometimes I didn't get to say a proper goodbye, or also because I'm like, is this forever? This sometimes seems to be a forever goodbye. I genuinely think that there are certain people I can't ever include back in my life. Yeah, absolutely. And for that, I just want to say that it's very important for us to notice and understand that in life, sometimes people are only with us for a season. Okay. So people are not always meant to be with us for life, even if we feel like they're the best friend, that we never had, and whatever. And that could be for a period of time. Just like for me, for 13 years, this woman was my best friend. We shared all kinds of very deep things with each other. However, or I should say, I reached a point in my life where I felt like there was a disconnect. We just didn't connect the same way anymore. And she was actually one of my biggest lessons to learn this, is that people in our lives, no one is ever permanent. Some people are in our lives temporarily, and they are with us only for the time that they need to be, until we learn some kind of valuable lesson. And it usually has to do with self-love, right? Because this is an honoring exercise. You are learning to honor yourself when you choose you. And we have to keep in mind that we have to choose us, because it's not anybody else's job to choose you. It is your job to choose you. So that's what this has to do with for you. So like I said, you can say your goodbyes. It's okay if it's permanent, right? It's okay to cut people out permanently from your life. Like I said, some people come and stay for a season, some stay for years, and others are very, very temporary. And all of it is okay. It all has to do with your own personal growth, how you are growing, what you are learning, and what you are meant to be integrating into your soul to become a higher version of yourself, to be more loving, more self-honoring, more self-respecting. And then the last thing you're saying is it's weird knowing that they might die someday while we live as if the other did not exist, as if we had never known one another. I wouldn't say that if it was not important people to me, but as it is my family and childhood friends, this is pretty serious. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. Like I'm sensing attachment here. Don't be so attached, whether it is family or whether it's friends. It's okay to move on. It's okay to start over. It's okay to be in a completely vibration and a different energy than the people that we are used to, the people that we consider family, right? Remember that family, this is for everyone out there. Remember that family, these are soul contracts, okay? That means that you specifically signed up for XYZ people to be your mom, your dad, your siblings, your whoever, your partner, to learn lessons, okay? This is the top reason, this is the main reason why we connect with family, and we choose our family based on the level of learning, based on what we need to learn in a lifetime. That's how we choose our family and friends before we're even born, okay? So whoever comes into our lives and however they treat us, that all plays out exactly the way it is meant to play out for us to learn certain lessons, for us to have certain experiences that push us towards soul growth. That's why the more challenging someone's life is, the more soul growth you get out of that life. So yeah, so don't look at it as like, oh my gosh, like these people, yes, we're all going to die one day. Yes. But what you're going to really look at on your deathbed is, was I happy? Was I happy with the people that I surrounded myself with? Did I love and respect myself enough to stay away from the people that were toxic or that didn't see me or that didn't respect me? That's what you're going to really look at when it is your time. Okay, so that was everything from Aline. Sigrun, you are next, and you have, yeah, okay. So Sigrun says, I am newly retired Norwegian teacher. Congratulations to your retirement. The last couple of years, I've really felt myself beside my job. What once was my biggest passion now felt like it belonged to others. I had to quit to do my pupils a favor. Good. And I'm so glad you did, because I see, and I remember as a child seeing so many teachers that I thought should have retired because they were so miserable. So I'm glad you chose to do that. I also had a burning desire to see other places, meet other people, release my old habits and life patterns. Actually, I one day found myself with almost all of my old friends lost, colleagues gone, and things squeaky between my sisters and I. This was like your ascension beginnings. I had a dream of a simple life in a van, owning nothing more than the most important things. In short, suddenly my dream had come true for 1.5 years. Now my home has been a van. I eventually managed to sell my house. I worked a lot, had 2 jobs, managed through rough terrain. So yeah, so it was like a bit of a hard go there for a while. So quick update, since retirement, I have been traveling and working both as a pet sitter and as a volunteer in Portugal and France. For the time being, I'm staying in southern France, looking after 15 Arabian cats. My goodness, isn't that marvelous? Life here has been quiet, and I believe this has helped me a lot, removing all the old stress concerning timetables, school bells ringing, difficulties with pupils, and so on and so on. I'm very grateful. Yeah, you absolutely needed a break for sure. Like this was just, I'm hearing like burnout. You were definitely really burnt out, Sigrun, from the life that you were living. It was also very monotonous, very boring. It was just like same old, same old. It was like Groundhog Day, I'm hearing kind of over and over and over. And I think that's where you reach this culmination point where your soul started to really long for more. That chapter also had ended. It's like that period of your life came to a conclusion. So that's why you felt this call or this urge to travel, to do the van life thing. So that was a good move. Very smart, because I feel like that's exactly what your soul needed. And then you're saying, initially, I was planning to live this life for, let's say, 10 years, of course, depending on my mental and physical health. Suddenly, I, who so desperately wanted to leave my home, my house, my ordinary life, now dream of my own place, my own garden, a dinner table big enough for my kids and grandkids to gather around. I have always tried to follow my gut feeling and my heart and my joy. It's been a changeable life, probably influenced by Uranus conjunct my natal ascendant. Yeah, absolutely. But an interesting life, a loving life. Challenges, of course, lots of tears, but fun and laughter too. But now I can't really see through what's going on with me. What do I really want and need? What is the universe trying to tell me? Continue traveling and volunteering or go back to a quiet grandma life at home? I lose confidence in myself. So, again, chapters, seasons. Remember how I talked about seasons? So, we have seasons in our own lives. And that time for you, Sigrun, so first there was the season of you being a teacher and just accumulating experience from that, life experience, personal experience. When that started to not give you any more, when there was no more learning left in the teaching experience, you felt you needed to make a change. You made that change. So it's like that chapter ended. You began a new chapter where you started the van life thing, traveling, just complete freedom, right? Significantly less responsibilities. That phase of your life was all about healing. That was about freedom, expansion, and healing. So that's the phase that you've been moving through there. And then now you're feeling like you want to go back home and have your own place and a little garden and spend more time with your grandkids and stuff. Now you're moving into this new cycle of settling down. And the reason why, it's like putting down roots is how I'm seeing it. You're wanting to put down roots now because van life is unstable to a certain degree. We're not, like, I see other families and stuff out there doing van life, and there is a lack of rootedness. When we're always on the go and we're not rooting to any specific area, there's a lack of rootedness in our lives, and it messes with our stability, our sense of safety, and our sense of security. But it's like, again, you completed that cycle of freedom and expansion and growth that you needed to experience. And that's why your soul is now craving for more rootedness, more groundedness. So I would 100% recommend to you that you follow through. You just follow through on whatever feels best for you. And you're going to know your own timing because you feel it. You just know that you're ready. You know that you're it's like you're craving change, right? When we start to crave change, that's why we're craving it. So this is the next phase that you're moving into now. You're moving into this, I want to root, I want to put my roots down, I want to anchor, I want that stability, security. And then let me see what else you wrote here. Yes. So I've had nearly 10 years experiencing single life, mostly loving it. In fact, I miss having mostly loving it, but in fact, I miss having one person to be really close to. I do not know whether he exists or how and where to find him. I would love your views upon this too. In short, I live and enjoy a life of my recent dreams, and now, even so, I want to be back and safe in my old surroundings. Why is that? That's the roots that I was talking about, that sense of safety and security when we put our roots down somewhere. The partnership thing for you is, that's the other thing, is that's something that you need to get clarity about. I don't feel like you have full clarity, Sigrun, on what you truly are seeking in a partner. So it would be a really great exercise for you to write that down for yourself. And I'm talking specific, from personality to experience, to external appearances, all of it. Like, how do you want this person to be? What do you want them to be like? And how do you want to feel with this individual? Like, what kind of a life do you want to live with this individual? Okay, connect to that, because as you connect to that and tap into that more and get really, really clear on that more, you're going to actually start magnetizing it in. So there's a clarity that is needed around the partnership so that a partner can come in and join you and have an experience with you. Someone who is on the same page as you. And the last thing you're writing here is, there's a strong urge in me to be of some help for others in one way or another. I used to give tarot readings some years ago. Recently, I've discovered I can channel Mother Mary. That's awesome, which is a great gift. And I hope it can be a gift for others too. So yeah. Okay. So you're moving into a brand new phase of your life. And this is why that rootedness is now required. It's like you need to have sort of this solid space. It's like you're settling into this new life. And in this new life, you are going to have a different purpose because we all need to have a purpose. And you tying into this and actually allowing yourself to channel Mother Mary, maybe this is something you can put on YouTube or do, private sessions for people. Definitely explore that though. Because I'm seeing that there's a connection between like the partnership you're seeking. There's a connection between the home and the groundedness that you're seeking. And then the work, the new way of serving that you are going to be offering the world. All of this is connected, and it's like pieces of a puzzle that are now coming together and forming this very cohesive, very stable energy in your life. Yeah, so keep trusting your intuition on that and keep going in that direction, because you're definitely on the right track, 100% on the right track. And I think that was everything that you wrote there. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that was helpful, Sigrun. It's definitely, everything is unfolding as it should. And you are actually doing a really good job, I'm hearing, in trusting your intuition and trusting and following through these feelings. And I think today's messages for you are just really about confirming what you're already kind of intuitively feeling and tapping into. So yeah, keep going. I'm excited for you. The next one is from Laura. So Laura is from Italy, and let me see here. Okay, so Laura is writing to me about her youngest son. He is a 12-year-old boy, and he has been diagnosed with JIA, which is juvenile idiopathic arthritis. It's an autoimmune disease, about 3 years ago. So when he was like 9. Okay. He'd always been a very healthy kid before that event, no need for antibiotics or other medicines. He started with a swollen knee, and they suggested an arthrocentesis, which is removing a joint from, or removing fluid from joints with a needle. So he had that, after which he should have been okay. After 2 days, all his joints started swelling. We took him to the hospital, and the nightmare began. They tested him for a whole week: x-rays, ultrasounds, blood work, stool exam, CAT scan. It was a merry-go-round. In the middle of the night, they reached a diagnosis of JIA, which is an autoimmune disease of uncertain origin. The protocol called for huge amounts of steroids before the methotrexate injection works. We said yes, because he could hardly walk at that point. After 3 months, he was getting worse day by day, so we accepted the etanercept medication, but it worked for just 45 days. In the meantime, I had to give him steroids. He could hardly move 10 steps and had to rest. Oh my gosh. He looked like a 90-year-old man. He refused kids around him. He started being anemic. Of course, we tried other therapies like homeopathy, acupuncture, Reiki, theta healing, Chinese medicine, cryotherapy. We went to different doctors and healers. We spent almost all our money with no results. We finally went to a public pediatric hospital here in Italy. Things are better now. He doesn't take steroids anymore, but the medication he's on is not effective enough to take him to full remission or full recovery. They're saying that it's impossible because it's an autoimmune disease, which is not true, and that he'll have it forever. No. Every now and then he still needs arthrocentesis to deflame his ankle. Now they are suggesting a change of medication because the constant inflammation of the joints might affect the bones. The new medicine might be effective or not. They can't tell until he tries. Sometimes the doctors, I feel, are using Federico as a guinea pig, a test animal. Let's see if this medicine works better and faster. And by the way, don't read the leaflet. It's just a disclaimer. Don't think about it. Wow. Okay. So basically they're saying, like, let's do this trial and error thing. Who cares if he gets lymphoma or liver cancer or whatever other disease from those medicines? Now, the thing I believe his disease is a way to express on the body a problem of the soul. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe something from past life, maybe something from when he was a baby. I still don't know. I believe if he chose us as his family, as his parents, there's a meaning, a reason. Yeah, absolutely. And yes, I believe he can fully recover no matter what doctors say. How can I help my kid, Federico? Thank you from my heart, Laura. Laura, Okay, so immediately the very first thing I tapped into, and it was funny because I didn't even fully read the email yet, or I didn't even get to the part of the email about the knees, and the knees were the very first thing that was highlighted to me. So the very, very first thing I got was geopathic stress, and I'm not sure if you've heard about that. It's something I can talk about a little bit more extensively later. I don't want to kind of waste time with that right now. You can look up geopathic stress. So basically, it's like Earth radiation, so different frequencies. So wherever he's sleeping, it may not be a good spot for him. I'm not sure if you've lived in the same house or in the same, whether he has had his bed or bedroom in the same location for a long period of time now, but that's definitely something that we may need to discuss a little bit further. In terms of the actual joints, and when we look at autoimmune disease from a spiritual perspective, joints, first of all, represent changes in direction. Okay, so joints are always about flexibility, right? So it's a change in direction in life and the ease of these movements. So how easily can he be flexible, or how much resistance does he have when it comes to change in his life? Knees specifically represent pride and ego. The knees, by the way, FYI for everybody, knees are connected to ego very, very much, especially the right knee. Left knee is more reflective of like spirituality. So when you have knee pain or any kind of a knee issue, it's an indication that there is a lack of flexibility, that the ego is very deeply triggered, that you are very much in your ego and you're not being flexible. You're not looking at things from a higher perspective. Okay, so that's knees. Knee problems is stubborn ego and pride. It's an inability to bend. It also connects to fear. So people that are in a lot of fear all the time or a lot of worry all the time, they tend to get a lot of knee issues as well. So it's inflexibility. It's about not giving in. Leg problems, if we look at leg problems in general, this is a fear of the future, not wanting to move. So again, do you see how there's this connection constantly of like a lack of flexibility? And this is emotional or spiritual flexibility. Ankles specifically are also connected to inflexibility and guilt. They represent the ability to receive pleasure. So when there's, and you were mentioning how you still have to get that basically the injection thing, like to suck fluids out of his ankles because there's swelling there. So that tells me that there's a lot of energy stagnation in the ankles. Most of the joints, it sounds to me like, are waist down that are very much affected, but it's probably his whole body if it's autoimmune. But if it's particularly waist down, that's root chakra connected. So this is stability, this is safety, security. Root chakra is also family. So there's definitely some family dynamics, and I was picking up on that emotionally. I feel like your son is either resenting, I don't know if it's parents, but he's resenting someone. There's a deep resentment and anger that I felt, like just tapping into his energy right now. I can feel it. There's this frustration, this anger. There's also this anger about the whole autoimmune disease. It's like, why me? There's this like victim mode mentality. There's this, like, this isn't fair. Like, I feel like my childhood is being robbed of me. It's like that kind of a soul sort of frequency that I'm picking up on as I'm tapping into your son. So there's definitely some heavy stuff that he's carrying. When it comes to specifically like juvenile arthritis, okay, because of course that's not normal at all. Arthritis, by the way, is not normal in general, but juvenile arthritis, where it shouldn't be happening in the body, is a message about the need for inner flexibility, need for resilience. So there's some very deep lessons here that his soul signed up to learn at a very, very early age. And I feel like he was meant to learn these lessons now, because it is going to really affect his life later. Like I'm seeing him in his 20s, where this is going to be, I'm hearing an impactful story. There's going to be something very big that he's going to be doing with this. And I think it's going to contribute to his service in the world. So it's like he has to go through this process right now, even though it feels shitty, even though this is like a lot of suffering for him. And even though he's a very, very young kid, I mean, he was 9, you're saying, when this all started. So it's a very, very early age, but it's like he signed up for this. He signed up for this early to kind of get going with all of this early on, because like I said, in his young adult life, I feel like he's going to be really inspiring other people with his story, with him overcoming everything that he's going to be overcoming. So I don't see it as a permanent thing either. No, because even in his young adult years, I'm seeing him completely healthy and free of it. Yeah. So it's about a deeper connection to himself. So this ease is meant to push him into himself. It's meant to push him into his power, into his own strength, into his own resilience, and bring that forth. And I know that can be challenging because he's still young. But it's like if he wasn't strong enough, if he wasn't capable enough, then he never would have done this in the first place. He never would have signed up for this assignment in this lifetime. Is this a past life thing? Does this have anything to do with past life? I'm hearing the lessons associated are past life related, and it's manifesting as a physical illness for him in this lifetime. So it's not like he had this physical problem in a previous lifetime. He had the same emotional, spiritual issues in a previous lifetime where he couldn't either see himself or didn't know how to look at himself as a resilient, strong, powerful being. And so in this lifetime, it's coming through the form of this autoimmune condition so that he can once again go through this process of overcoming not seeing himself as resilient, strong, capable. Let me see what else was written down here. And this condition is also signifying a period of transformation or learning to navigate challenges with grace, acceptance, especially when you're facing limitations, right? And for him, that's what this is about. It's like he has to learn the grace. He has to learn how to navigate. Ooh, and throat chakra. There's also something he needs to communicate. He needs to get something off his chest. I feel like he's pissed at you, you and Dad for some reason. Oh, I can't sugarcoat it, but that's what's coming through. He's frustrated with you guys. And I think there's some unresolved, either unacknowledged feelings. And I'm being pointed towards Dad more right now. There could be some unacknowledged feelings from Dad. That's where the resentment might be coming from. He also has to loosen up on his thinking, though. It's like how he is seeing himself through this process. Really try to help your son see himself not as a victim, but as someone very powerful, someone very capable of overcoming this. And that's the hardest part when it comes, to kids and stuff. But at the same time, kids are also extremely open and can be, because of his young age, much more malleable in terms of how he thinks. So his perception can be very, very heavily influenced right now by you. So it's important for you to acknowledge that, right? It's about him getting the right information and being spoken to in the right way so that he can actually initiate, I'm hearing, and create his own healing. So you can't let like the doctors getting to him, about like, oh, this is incurable and it's never going to heal, blah, blah, blah. No. I hope he knows that that's not true. This is a lot about self-care and awareness as well for him. So it's like a wake-up call for him to prioritize loving himself. And even that's why that's why he's pushing kids away right now. It's like he's refusing everything and anything that is actually nurturing for him, that would fill him, that would make him feel good. Because having friends around or having a short play date with someone, even if he can't fully, participate, would give him this moment of respite. It would give him a little bit of time to just not focus on being sick or not focus on being in pain. And he's refusing it. He's not allowing it. So there's some really deep lessons around self-love. Wow. It's crazy that he chose that so early in life. And even I was thinking, the age of 9 is a completion number. So it's like the first 9 years of his life where he wouldn't have been able to handle this yet were normal for him. And that's why it began at age 9. It's like once he started to enter a new cycle and he was sort of mature enough to start dealing with this, that's when this autoimmune condition kicked in. Yeah, we really have to look at disease differently because it's not what what people think it is. There's so much more to it. So yeah, so this is just a massive catalyst for him for personal growth, to reevaluate his priorities, to develop like deeper self-understanding and deeper self-love. And can you get your son to express like just truly and authentically and very honestly with you about how he feels about you separately, how he feels about dad separately, and if you have other children, about them separately, how he feels about himself separately. He needs to express these things. It's going to contribute to his healing big time. It's like he has things that he needs to get off his chest, I feel. And there's definitely like an anger and a frustration. And he needs to release that. So he needs to have a safe space to do that. He needs to be heard. Okay. And also nurturing the inner child, I'm hearing, because in a way he's being robbed of his childhood, right? He can't do things right now that normal kids can do. So there's also like a resentment and a pain buildup from that. So helping him nurture his inner child, helping him to play, to feel as normal as possible, is going to also be very healing, very supportive for him. There's certain emotional wounds that really need to be addressed. And I'm seeing him at the age of 4. I'm not sure if there was anything specific that happened. Like I would need sort of, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper with this, then I would need to get sort of a deeper backstory of his childhood and really tap into certain things there. Because I feel like there's I'm hearing blind spots. There are certain blind spots you guys had when he was a kid. And there's residual energy. I'm also seeing fragmentation. So there's some sort of soul fragmentation from that. So there's certain experiences I feel like he had that wasn't okay, that he didn't interpret as okay, that he either felt really hurt by or really dismissed or disconnected from you guys. I'm hearing like I'm seeing this like yearning for love, yearning for love. Perhaps he wasn't loved in the way that he wanted to be loved by you and dad. So that's what I'm getting, Laura, about your son. Like I said, and if you want to dig deeper on this, then we can do that through a session, a private session. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to the next person, but I wish you and your son all the best. Don't lose faith and don't lose hope. There are some very deep spiritual lessons here that need to be, I'm hearing up tying up loose ends, so that need to be tied up at this time. That will really significantly progress his healing. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to Julia. So Julia says, my mother opted out of all medication intervention in March of 24. She got fed up with the medical runaround she was getting, so she stopped everything. She is in pain, but refuses to get medical care. The only thing she takes is over-the-counter meds. It's hard to watch my mom's health decline and not be able to do anything to help. I'm her only child, so everything was put on my shoulders. Mentally and emotionally, I'm struggling to find balance between honoring my mother's wishes to reject medical care and having peace of mind that I'm doing the best I can. I would appreciate guidance around this situation for our best and highest good. Thank you and blessings, Julia. Okay, Julia. So mom is refusing care. I don't feel that that's a bad thing that she's refusing care. She's doing, yeah, I'm getting some confirmation. Thank you. She's doing what feels best for her, and that's good. So she's learning to honor herself, and she's learning to listen to herself and trust herself. However, the pain that she is in can be managed in different ways. And I think you're just perhaps not looking at all of the options. And I'm not sure how much you have knowledge about or have presented to her alternative options for pain management. But there are a lot of different ways to manage pain that she needs to explore, because this isn't about self-punishment. It's not about her suffering, because if she's suffering, you're suffering. This is more about her recognizing that, okay, I know and I felt intuitively that the meds were not good for me, that it, like she had her reasons, her legitimate reasons for refusing the medications and medical assistance. However, there was a reason why she was refusing that. So she was refusing it because there is something else out there. It wasn't working for her in the first place because that's not what she needs, I'm hearing. She needs assistance on a medical, on a spiritual level. So a spiritual, emotional, and the pain, the external pain I'm seeing is indicative of internal pain. So there is some deep inner wounding that she needs to release in order for the physical manifestation of pain to release as well, for that to go. So whenever the body is struggling with healing or is not healing, it's not healing because internally there is no healing. There's a lack of awareness of deeply buried pain, deeply buried traumas or wounds or neglect or whatever it is for her. Trauma, I'm even hearing. Yeah, so there's something deep that mom needs to release, that she needs to move through. And that's why she's refusing the meds, because it's like her soul knows that's not what's going to fix this. This is a deeper, I'm hearing there's a calling for her to heal herself on a deeper level. And that requires her to listen to her intuition, to trust where it's guiding her. So explore alternative options. Even explore, because I'm seeing us chatting. So even if your mom is open to doing like a session, that would be helpful. Where, yeah, because it's like she's not even fully aware of the stuff that's buried within her. So having a conversation with someone like myself, or just someone in your area, if you can find a healer, would be really, really helpful for her. Because internal pain needs to be released, is what it comes down to. And when it comes to you, listen, you are doing exactly everything that you can in your power. If you are an only child and you don't have any assistance to help your mom, then just know that you're doing your best, and that is enough. Okay. This isn't about you being hard on yourself because you can't do more or because you can't reduce her pain. Her pain is hers to carry. It is not yours to carry. So please try to sort of separate yourself from that, because it doesn't help you and it doesn't serve you to suffer with her. This is more about you taking your power back also, and recognizing that this is her karma to carry, because she is the one that has to resolve this. Her soul desires to resolve this for herself in this lifetime. So I'm hearing, don't carry her wounding. It's not your job. And as children with elderly parents, it is very important for us to recognize that whatever our parents didn't heal, whatever they didn't process emotionally, those are their burdens to carry. And while we can assist them with healing that, or we can at least make suggestions for them, at the end of the day, they have to choose for themselves whether they want to take that action or not. So you're doing the best you can, okay? And I don't want you to think any less whatsoever of yourself. Yeah, I'm hearing you're doing great. You're doing great. Aw. Yeah, so don't worry, Julia. You're doing awesome. Okay, and then the very last email that I have here, and this one came in just in the nick of time. It says, my best friend Valerie sends me her videos every now and then. I'm not good with technology to follow someone amazing as you on the internet. Anyway, every time I listen to what you say, it's as if you were directly talking to me. It's as if you knew my life. I struggle with letting go of a relationship that no longer serves me, but I seem to hang on to it, and I feel sad and guilty about letting it go. The more I force myself to let go, the more I just hang on to it. I wish to let go easily before I get myself sick and miss out on the good things coming. So the very first thing I'm getting, and I'm sorry, let me just go back to the name here because I'm not even sure who this came from. Oh, Nancy. Okay, this came from Nancy. So Nancy, the very first thing I want to say to you is never, ever do anything out of guilt or obligation. So if you're feeling guilty to let something go and you're hanging on because you're feeling guilty, that's wrong. that's all the more reason to let go. Okay, because that tells you that you're actually not in alignment with this person, and the only reason why you're not letting go is because you're afraid. You're afraid of the loss. You're afraid what's going to happen to them, what's going to happen to me, how am I going to be able to deal with this? Yeah, 100%. 100% you're going to be able to deal with this. It's not in alignment and you're forcing it. And what's going to happen, and you even wrote it, is that you're going to miss out on good things that do want to come into your life. So it's not healthy for anyone, for any reason, whether it's family or not, to hang on to connections that we are hanging on to out of guilt. It is wrong. And we should never be doing anything out of obligation either. You're either doing it out of the kindness of your heart because you genuinely want to, or you don't do it, period. Because there's no in between. You either want to do something or you don't want to do something. So I feel like this is nothing more than just a very deep contraction of fear. I keep seeing that you're really, really contracting yourself. You're also contracting yourself to stay in this connection, and that makes it even more toxic. This person is not in alignment with you. They're not right for you, but you're just terrified to let go. And that's not okay. Give yourself permission to just play with the idea and ask yourself, how would it feel if it was just me? If I let go of this person and it's just me and it's just my energy, how does that feel for me? And when you sit in that and you give yourself some space and some time to sit in that, and preferably be by yourself when you're doing this, when you do that, you actually will have a chance to experience your own energy without that person. So there's like a bit of a detoxification here energetically that's required for you, Nancy, so that you can kind of unplug from this person. I'm even seeing like a weekend getaway. Maybe if you can take like a weekend and just go and be by yourself. Yeah, hotel room somewhere, preferably out close to nature, where you can spend good amounts of time outside. It's just going to build a little bit of a gap, and that gap is going to allow you breathing room. It's going to allow you to connect to your heart's true desires. Because you're not in it. I don't know how to say this to you. You're not in it. I don't feel like your heart is really truly in this connection. You're only hanging on out of fear. That's what it feels like to me. And I keep seeing the word fear in my mind in capital letters. So there's a lot of fear here. Fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of letting go, fear of the unknown. Yeah. So Nancy, my suggestion to you, my homework that I'm going to sign for you, is to take a weekend. Take a weekend if you can, even just a couple of nights. Go away, be by yourself for a little bit. Give yourself a little grace and some time and some space to think, to tap into your own energy, and really listen to what your heart actually wants. And you can only do that when you're by yourself. So that's my recommendation to you. And I think that is the end of the emails. Yeah, it is. So I'm just going to go through quickly and just see if there's anything in the chats that I missed. Can I manifest a good doctor for my nephew? Absolutely, you can. Focus on the type of doctor you want to manifest. Someone who's going to listen, someone who's going to be very present, someone who has a higher perspective and is more open-minded. So Kiki, focus on that so that you can manifest a good doctor for your nephew. Kiki's also saying, I believe in my higher self, but I don't know how to make things happen. You make things happen by getting out of your way. Get out of the energy of need and get into the energy of wanting. I want something, but not because I need it, but because I want it. Need is connected to lack. So anytime we're trying to manifest anything out of a need, it's not going to come because you're in the energy of lack. So you're saying to the universe, basically with your energy, that, well, I really need this because I don't have it. So I don't have it. And I still don't have it. And your energy is just going to keep saying you don't have it, right? So you can't manifest it. You can't make things happen. And then what was someone here? And Trina was saying, would appreciate hearing guidance about my love life right now. Well, I don't know what your backstory is or what your love life is like at the moment. Let me just see what I can get. I'm picking up on fear and resistance. So Trina, you need to work through some fear and resistance when it comes to your love life. I'm not sure if you're coupled right now or not coupled. I feel like you're not. I feel like it's something that you want and you're desiring, but there's fear and resistance to it. And I'm also being like, I'm seeing an image of pointing to the heart. So like, you need to love yourself more. Love on yourself more, Trina, because that's going to expand your energy and open you up to actually receiving that love from other people as well. And if you are coupled and you feel like you're not receiving the love that you deserve, then you're not receiving that love because you're not reflecting that love to you. The outside reflects the love we give ourselves, right? So you need to focus on that. Give yourself the love. Keep pouring into your cup, especially today. It's Valentine's Day. I'm actually going to go out and buy myself some flowers right after this. So yeah, pour into yourselves, love yourselves. It is one of the biggest life lessons I have had to learn in this lifetime. And it's such a hard one because we're so good at giving, right? Especially as empaths, we're so good at giving to other people and supporting other people and being kind and loving, but we don't know how to do that for ourselves oftentimes. So it's time for us to love ourselves, especially today. Pour into yourself, do a salt bath, go on a walk, buy yourself flowers, treat yourself in some cute, fancy way. Like, do something today that signals to the universe that you are worthy of more love, that you are worthy of receiving more, and you will receive more. It's really that simple. It's an energy game. All of life is an energy game. It's something I had to learn. It was not easy to learn that. All right. Oh, awesome, Sigrun. I'm so glad. I'm glad. Okay. Thank you. Oh, and Donna, you just made it. Well, we're just about wrapping up now. So I actually do feel like I have to go because I feel very ungrounded. I'm going to go and level my own energy out right now and give to myself and and practice what I preach and love myself and give to myself. So thank you to everyone that was here. I hope every single one of you that submitted questions received some form of guidance today that was helpful for you, that is going to guide you towards what is truly best for you. Thank you to everyone who was here in the chats. Thank you for submitting questions and for just contributing your energy in the chats. It was lovely to see you all. It was lovely to be here. I'm wishing all of you a beautiful, beautiful Valentine's Day. Fill yourselves with love. Fill yourselves with the abundance of the universe. It is all here for us. Everything is happening as it should be, and everything is unfolding in perfect, perfect divine timing. So know that, plant that seed in your heart and know it and make that your truth and live from that truth. So that is my message for all of you who are here and who are present. Thank you so much for watching, for being here. I love each and every single one of you. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.